Good afternoon. Today is the 11th of May and this is Retro Rides Weekend 2024 at the Goodwood Motor Circuit here in West Sussex. I do apologise in advance for any wind noise if I get interrupted by announcements or people tapping me on the shoulder. That's just happened in the last part. If there are bits of incorrect information, I'm afraid it's just the way that it goes in this channel. The clue is in the title. 1996 BMW E30 3 Series. I think the most common things here must be the MX-5s and the E36 BMWs West Sussex. There's a 323i, and we've got an Impreza here, first generation one. The turbo one's officially in this country called the Turbo 2000. This is a very late one. It is a 2000. It's for last year they made these. I don't know what edition that one is. Somebody in the comment section below could perhaps tell me. E110 Toyota Corolla. I actually drove one of these on No Budget Reviews in 2021. It's been one of the most successful episodes of No Budget Reviews ever. Don't quite know why. Maybe somebody can tell me. They're actually very nice, easy cars to drive. They're very pleasant. I think at the time their sort of talents were ignored by people who just said they're very boring. They might have been, but they're also excellent cars. They're very good. Corsa B here with the 1.2 16 valve engine. That'll be imagine a family Zero engine in that, the later facelifted one. Then a Mark III Polo. I had a Mark III Polo as my very first car in 2001. My sister and I, who's my twin, we actually shared it for a while. I've been trying to get one on the channel for ages actually. Since it started, I think in 2018. For some reason I've not managed it. This is a 1.4 CL specification that we had. Ours was a green 5-door. Mark II Golf. I imagine this would have been a driver originally, hence the number plate or something. Big bumper face, this is about 89, 90. Another MX-5. We're going to have to go past them quickly because there's so many. 2000 first facelift K11 Micra. Wonder if we've got the trim level on the back of this. Is probably one of the special editions. There are millions of special editions to these. Yeah, it's a Micra Celebration. I don't know why it's celebrating, but there we go. They're actually quite decent little cars, those, like they always were. And then we've got a Mark 5B Ford Escort, 63,000 miles. I don't know what's going on the right hand side there, but this has got, I think, like XR3 Mark 4 wheels on it. It looks like it's a gear. 950 pounds. 077 11 825 438. Has all the welding done. Ongoing project. It's like a 1.6 gear or something. Yeah, 93, 94. Answer the comment section. Unos Roadster 1991, 1992. And we'll move on to the next row now. So, Supra Action 94, 95 on an M. Very standard looking one, which I really appreciate. 6-speed manual. I think there's a Getrag unit in these. Yeah, it's been sort of left alone. Skyline Saloon. I don't know what these are. Are these still called VR34s, even if it's a saloon? Someone in the comment section below is going to have to tell me. The front looks very similar. So yeah, 2000 Mark 1 Fiesta. This might be the first one of these we've seen actually here. Just trying to work out if this is a Mark 1 facelift or not. Yeah, it probably is. Oh, yeah, definitely. 81, 82 it would be. 1989 to 90 Porsche 911, sorry, 944 S2. What is going on with the steering wheel? That's unusual. Interesting though. E36 3 Series BMW Compact. Again, it's the sort of car I would expect to see more of these around here, but I haven't seen that many. Maybe these are the only two that are here. For some reason, there's cars already leaving, which and I've got a long way to go yet, and you know, I won't be leaving, but people have to leave, I suppose, for different reasons. 1995, 1996, that one. Fiat X19, I think. Oh yes, this is a like a 78, 79. Relatively kind of early one still though, because they made these until 1989. It's only got a 4-speed gearbox. I wonder if that's a 1.3 or 1.5. Let's take another look inside actually, because they are interesting little cars, these. Very, very sort of 70s. And very, very sort of idealistic design. We've got the Mini Clubman Estate here, again probably with a GT engine. The second one we've seen has been modified. This one 78, 79. Sorry, 77 to 78 I should say. This is I think Aaron from Car Obsession, who's had this years, calls Monique. That's a 97. I think he removed the airbag years and years ago. He had it for donkey's years. RB25, is that the name of the engine in these? A Max Jordan SKR on Instagram, hello, I can't remember what these are called now. It's a Stagio or something like that. 92, 93 BMW 36 Coupe. Awful lot of these here. What a standard looking big bumper Golf next to one that's not a big bumper Golf but with a later plate on it. What's going on here? Weird. I wonder if this has got power steering in it. Power steering was a really rare option on these. That I think is just a GL, and that is a driver, although the driver possibly could be built earlier, just registered later. And another very nice Honda Prelude. I love Honda Prelude to this era views. This is, I think, the third or fourth one we've seen today, and then of course there was one sort of Shedfest last weekend. 88, 89, and then a Volvo 740. I think we've seen this before somewhere. I just can't remember where. The number of these events I go to and the number of Shambolic Shuffles I've done means I sometimes get confused about where I've seen certain stuff. But yeah, so obviously classics and styling. That's a very nice new 740 actually. GL with the correct interior. A little bit older than Richardson's one from Furious Driving, sort of 87, 88 it would be. We've got more style action here. We'll look at the front grille to see if this is a Glanzer. I think the next generation of the Glanzers, these are not. It's the GT. Yes, it looks like I'm right again. That's not normal for me to right view. It's normally if you do everything wrong, it's an absolute shambles. That's the name of the videos. 94, 95, another MX-5. This one's a UK spec one. It looks like it might be like a special edition or something. This 96, 97. Then a Chevy pickup of some kind. You're really sort of moving outside an area that I'm at all familiar with. I'm talking about pickups though, and American cars in general. 1980 to 1981, or probably 1980. Ford Escort Mark II 4-door. That's a pre-facelift grille. It should have a grille with a Ford badge on it, like an oval badge. This one would have been appropriate actually for the earlier grille. This one 1976-77 on an R. E30 BMW 3 Series Touring. I'm surprised you've not seen any of these so far. This is one like part 4, and we haven't seen any of these so far, which is a bit crazy. MG Midget 1971-72 on a K. I think this is, yeah, it's a Mark III with round arches. I have driven a 68 Mark III, and that was interesting, principally due to the lack of synchromesh on first, or scamp. I think we've seen one of these before. That's presumably the. You put, we go 2 jerry cans on there. 1980 to 81. It looks like a sort of homemade version of the Mini Moke actually, man. MGB GT. I've not seen too many of these here, but it's not really like a British car focused event, is it? So that's probably why. 1972, 73. And then EJ or EK Civic hatch. I have had a go at one of these because Mr. Quirt from Planet Auto has one of these, and they are good fun. Even it's 1.4, but the base engine was good fun. Same year as that one. So facelift for this generation was like 98, 99. This is the facelift one, 99 to 2000. Mark II Scirocco, very, very white. Hello to Vince.ball on Instagram. We've got the wonderful rear lights, which have the sort of white bits on them. 1990, 1991. Nissan Fairlady Z or 300ZX as it was in some places. I'm sure if you go on that site there you can find out more information about them. That is a manual. You could get an automatic as well. I'll just change hands a second here, viewers. Right, I've got my bag caught in the cables. Let's keep going. Yeah, 1993 300ZX or Fairlady Z, E36 BMW 3 Series Coupe. Colour's quite nice, isn't it? On a P, so 96, 97. And then, for some reason, it's a right-hand drive Golf Mark II, but it's got a funny American plate on it. R32, so I got an R32 engine in it. And this one, there's another big bumper Golf, 90 to 1991 and an H. VR6, so that's probably had a VR6 swap done on it. Ford Anglia, 1966. I almost got run over by one of these the other day. Fortunately, nothing happened, but I think I was being a little bit too, I don't know, stupid as to where I stood. 1995, 1996, BMW E36 Coupe. This is 323i. And we've got just one more section here before we move on. It's 1996, 1997 MX-5 with a nice biscuit leather. I like the colour of that one. That is quite nice. And then this Clio, is this like a Clio 16 valve or something? It could be a 16 valve. Interestingly, this has got local plates for this area. So this area would have been registered as Portsmouth, and BK was an old Portsmouth plate back in the day. Or it could have just been a car that was registered by Rennie UK themselves. They always registered cars in this area as well. Yeah, it could be a 16 valve. Let's have a look at the front. I think this would be a very, very late Mark 1 pre-facelift. An Audi, see, this is like a 90 maybe, B4 shape. Fits with high spec one. It's a Quattro. 1982 to 83, Volvo 245DL. They weren't badges for 240 until I think slightly later, about 1983. Again, we've got a very, very sort of classic Volvo interior, but only a 4-speed gearbox. The one that my mother owned was in 89, and it was a lot later than this, and it's a little bit different at the front, but basically the same. 1968-69 Ford Escort Mark 1 2-door 1100L. As I always say, it's increasing in value as I'm walking around it, which is a bit ridiculous. And then we have this thing which is a little bit of a trick. It looks like an early MG Metro. It absolutely is not. This is a Rover 100. You just have the rear of the car changed. You can tell by like this thing, the dashboard and the stalks and the mirrors and things like that. And someone has dropped in a Caterham K-Series, because all you do again is just change the front end of this Rover 100 to make it look like an early MG Metro. So it's actually sort of 90 to 97, and it's almost completely different from when it left the factory. Another Mark III Polo. This is more akin to the specification that I had on the one that my sister and I owned in the early 2000s. Although it has later rear lights. It is a pre-facelift, but it looks like either dragon green or bright green, which is depending on the sort of year. But actually, have a look at the rev counters. That'll tell us what it is. Yeah, I think that's still just a 1.4, and it is bright green as opposed to dragon green, that colour. 1997, 1998 E36 3 Series. Almost not noticing these now, considering how many of them there are here. And then a Volkswagen Caddy from probably the 80s, probably with a Golf GTI 16 valve engine in it. I don't know what this little badge on the grille says. But an E28 BMW 5 Series, 2 E28. This one's an M5, this one is probably a bit more standard. I think I prefer these personally because I'm that sort of person. And everyone would get annoyed with me, if you're not already. Yeah, 5250, that's very nice though, 86, 87 on a D. M5, I'm not sure. The M5 actually have completely different rear lights from those. You can see they're completely different colour. They're very valuable, the rear lights on the M5 of this type. That is pretty delicious really though. Even though I would just have the 525i if it were me. It's personal preference. So, another Unos. What a surprise. It's like they're all here today, aren't they? Absolutely millions of them. Mind you, it's got the sort of normal UK rear end, so I just want to put the badge on there. It's like 97, 98. MGC. 1968, 69 on G. They only sold these for a couple of years. They weren't very successful really. It's just a way to replace the Austin Healey 3000 with not having to do too much work. So there we go, but nice colour. The GT V8 was probably a bit more successful later on. First generation MR2, £11,995. Call 07730 201 998. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. I would like to have a go in one of these. I've only ever driven the third generation MR2. I'd like to have a go in others as well. And then we've got a Audi S4. This is the B5 shape pre-facelift. So up to about 99. I think they came out around 95 from memory. Something like that. Next to an R32 Skyline. Because of course it is. How many of these are there here, viewers? I imagine quite a lot. Quite a lot here. That's the V-spec, V-fast. 1988 to 89 Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC. Look at that. Oh. The blue interior in there. These are surprisingly cheap when they come up for sale. They're not actually that expensive. I don't know why. It's really strange. Another B30 3 Series here in rather different condition from usual. But that paint has really kind of come up, but I think that's what they're looking for on this. Right next to a Buick from 1972-73. What sort of Buick is this? It's not a Riviera, because it's quite different from this, but I don't really know. Yes, we'll just move on, shall we? Right, I have a feeling that this one is not something we can talk about, and we can't. Go on to this one. This, I think, has been modified since I last saw it, this Metro. It's a late Rover Metro. It's not a Rover 100, but it's a little bit later. 94, 95. I think it would be a Rio or Rio Grande or something. And then Fair Lady Z or Nissan 240Z with a Corvette engine. Excellent. This is a 71. I bet that's rather fast. We'll watch your right foot in that. And then another Mark II Golf. Again, it's quite standard, although it's got ball bay wheels on it. This looks like a driver. I don't think this is a big bumper. No, it's not a big bumper. That's the Vera, those of 89 to 90. Recaro seats, Nardi steering wheel. And yeah, there we go. Another MX-5. What's going on with the rear lights? Are those rear lights off something else? I haven't seen too many MBs actually. They're all the sort of NA models really. And then something that appeals to me a bit more is this Mitsubishi Colt with a local plate on it from sort of 1991. It's an automatic as well. Oh, that's exciting, viewers. Exciting for someone like me. NVMX5, we've already discussed those. And then another Mark II GTI. This has the big bumpers on it. Again, 89 to 90. It's quite standard they are. K10 Micra. Probably the 1.2. I've driven the 1 litre one and it wasn't very fast. And 1963 Triumph Herald 1200. Wow, we've got some big wheels on that. I have driven the Herald 1360, you know, back in the day, but that was a long time ago now. 1966 Ford Mustang. That looks actually very, very standard. Very standard indeed. Then Volkswagen Corrado, 1992, 1993. I wonder if it's a G60 or the VR6. Who knows? I'm not sure. Very old 911. What year that is, I don't know. It's something's been messed with as well. Sort of splitty. And then a Honda Integra. I got told off last time when I was at Shedfest for using the Integra model codes with reckless abandon, so I'm going to be very careful just not to say anything at all, because I don't want to get in trouble again. But yes, we didn't get this generation over here. The previous ones we did, but quite limited numbers. 2000 BMW 36 Compact V318 Ti. Now, this isn't a mistake. This is actually as late as they made them. They made them far later than any other type of E36, which is into 2000 before the E46 type came out. We've got something very much like it belongs here. This. Yeah, we've got almost spinners. I can't remember what these are called now. I've completely forgotten. And the Mitsubishi FTO. We did get these over here. Well, not as early as you think. I think it was only sold for like a year or so, right at the end of FTO production, which was sort of 1990 2000. Yeah, I think these cars are fantastically interesting. They have 4-cylinder and the V6 engines, I think, of 2 litres, and other ones too. Then we've got Lexus LS. It's much cooler in here because I like it in this area. It's a 430, so the second generation one. Plate doesn't relate to the age of the car at all, by the way. Just put this back down for a second. Okay, so Mark 1 Fiesta 1.1L. Let's just have a look and see if this is a pre-facelift. I think it is. My uncle had one that was this colour. It was 78, the one he had. It was in this colour with this interior and this spec of 1.1L, so I think that's a pre-facelift. And this Mini is a little bit interesting as well. This is early 80s, well, 83, 84 on an A, but by Speedwell, so that will mean, sort of based on the 60s stuff, I actually changed the rear of this car to look older, because by 83, 84 they had completely different rear lights on them from these, so that is fantastic. Right, viewers, shuffling is going to resume. Another Audi 90. Gosh, I haven't seen one of these for ever such a long time, and suddenly there's 2 of them here. That is very, very nice indeed. I think those are like the original rear lights of this as well. 88, 89 and an F. More Metro action. Mark II Metro, obviously with the lower spec front end. It's a City. I have driven one of these actually. It was a City or City X, I think. It was a 4-door. This is just a 3-door. Same kind of age, about sort of 87, 88 on an E. Again, we've got the cosmic alloys on this because if you want tyres for your standard steel metro wheels these days on sort of Mark 1, Mark 2s, they're very, very difficult to find, so most people put alloy wheels on them now. Is this perhaps something like an Audi S2 or RS2? Is it one of these, or is it just something that looks a bit like it? Let me know in the comment section below, viewers. So about 93, 94 on an L, if that's the right plate for the year. Mercedes 190E. This is without the body side model, so this will be quite an old one. Still the one belonging to Simon from Lot 76 Cars, I think in the previous part. So what, 87, something like that? Right, let's just finish off this area in this part, and then we'll go on to part 5. 1991 Unos, of course. More Polo bread vans here than I've ever seen before in my life. That is a very late one, 89-90 for the facelift. Another one of these Unoses on a J. So they sort of seem to conspire together. We've got like Unos Polo, 91, 92. Again, similar sort of thing. Someone's got a intercooler on this. It's like a G60 engine on that or something. Nissan 300 ZX, or in this case probably a Fel 80Z. L, so 1993, 1994. Someone helpfully said that Polo Bear's an 89. Thank you very much, whoever you are. 1967 Triumph Herald. I think this is a 1200 estate. It might be 1250 possibly. Then another one of these minis. This is a, let's get this right, Mark 6 Mini. This looks very much like a special edition, but the badge has been taken off, so I don't know. 93, 94, early E36, 91, 92, 325, 325 manual, which is probably a nice desirable specification for somebody. And then a 205. Don't know what specification this is. Wheels like this, I don't know actually what they're from. Which would have been one of the special editions, I should think. 94, 95. Volvo Amazon. The gentleman who owns this, I actually know him because he's a member of the Volvo Owners Club. He's got, I think, a couple of these. This is 67. I forget exactly which. I think it's 122S, but I think he's an engine swap in this as well. But there we go. So BMW. It's 171, 72. Is this like a? Is this 2002 or is this a lesser model? It's a 1602. Right, to be cautious there. Late MGB, although the chrome bumpers have been. Sorry, the bumpers have been taken off entirely. Actually, should be rub bumpers on this. Yeah, 80 to 81 that is actually. The BMW Z3. I was expecting to see sort of a few more of these today, to be honest. It's the first one I've seen. That was for sale. 07941255877. Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power Channel says this could be yours. Complete with a beige leather interior. I mean, why would you not want that? It's for 2.8 straight to 6 as well. And it's got a Lancia Beta available for sale. A Lancia Beta Coupe. Now that does sound very tasty, viewers. Very late Mark 5 Fiesta. I think this is hopefully a Z-Tech S or something. This is sort of the fastest Mark 5 they've made. Just before the Mark 6 came out, which is 2002. Then Mark 3 Golf GTI with some large wheels on it. And a rather interesting Audi. I think this is an early Audi 80 or something. This it's automatic. It is an 80 GL Auto from 1974-75. Wow, those are rare. Another Unos Roadster. Most of the Unos seem to enter over here, don't they now? Despite the time it's never been sold over here actually. 92, 93. And this is something that takes me back. My grandfather had one of these. 1987-88 Ford Fiesta Mark II gear. This is a manual. My grandfather's one was an auto. His was a very, very late one. It was an 89, which is for last year they made these. This had the highest spec dash in it. If you went for like a lower than an L, you got a different dash because Ford couldn't be bothered to sell you a proper dash unless you paid money for it. But that's wonderful. Toyota is a Hiace or something. This be from the early 90s, 92, 93. Bay window Volkswagen there, 1972. And then just a couple of things to finish off this part. Beetle, 1970 to 71. And of course another Unos, because why not? Just have an extra one to finish this off. So there we go. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more incorrect information.